Hello, all heroes. Welcome back to Invincible Guarding the Globe. And today we are going to take some time to talk about the newest lizard added to the game, the Lizard League member Komodo. I know I'm a little tardy to the party on this one, but nice thing is Komodo is actually available right now through the Trick or Treat Jackpot event. A rare chance, but a chance nonetheless. So I figure this is as good a chance as any to talk about him. A few factors with that I do want to point out, but before we do get to that, if you're enjoying my content and you want to see more, go down below the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you do want to support me further, you can go down below and to the description, and we have a Patreon link there if you would like to support me further. Now, Komodo, here's the thing. Since Komodo was released, about the same time actually, we also had the arrival of level 15 skills. Now, these level 15 skills, to get all 4 of them up to level 15, require you to be up to 1,000. Skill 1 is not quite level 1,000, but it's still pretty close. So we're going to talk about his skills in 3 separate ways. We're going to talk about his skills from level 1 out the box. We're going to talk about his skills at level 10, also going over some breakpoints. And then we'll talk about his skills at level 15, kind of more so for the future, if you do want to invest in him further. And on that note, yes, I do want to make a video going over level 15 skills in detail. I just simply do not have the time right now for reasons I've discussed in the past with the move and all that jazz. Go to the announcement video a week or 2 ago for more details on that. But regardless, Komodo. So here's what we're cooking with here. He is a criminal defender character, melee, of course, with meat sacks like that. Yeah, that'll do it. He is a melee human Lizard League malefactors and grounded character. So if we take a look at his skills here, first of all, level 1 Fangstorm. Komodo dragon bites the enemy 3 times, each bite dealing true damage equal to 10% of his defense. Each bite also applies a wound stack that deals a total of 100% chance of his base attack damage over 10 seconds. Now, there's already a couple things to get into here. First of all, what true damage is. True damage is damage that ignores the enemy's defense stat. So as opposed to the game doing the calculation where it's your attack, your damage offset by the opponent's defense stat, it basically just ignores that defense stat check and just does raw damage. Keeping in mind too, this damage is based off of a percentage of his defense and hits 3 times while he's at it. So effectively 30% of his defense as damage. And he is a defender. He's going to have defense. And actually, King Lizard even does boost the defense of his allied Lizard League characters, which means Komodo is having a very good time. As we do get this leveled up a bit, he does get some lifesteal at either level 3 or level 4. A little hard to say, kind of a text glitch on that one. That lifesteal is chunky because, first of all, it starts out at like 50%, which is already pretty dang good. But keeping in mind that he gets lifesteal off of true damage, and that's actually pretty good. If we take him all the way up to level 10, his bite deals true damage equal to 20%, granting 74% lifesteal, which with each bite applying a wound stack that deals 190% of his base attack damage over 10 seconds. Yeah, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Even out the box at level 1, it's already okay. Then you give it just a little bit of boost. Just a little, not even a lot. Get up to level 3 or level 4, and suddenly he's getting lifesteal on that. That's really good. That is really, really good. It's heavy damage because it's based off his defense, and lifesteal means that he is able to self-sustain a little bit. You will notice I'm not talking a whole lot about the wound stack. It's based off of his attack damage, which by nature is going to be a little bit lower. And also, let's be real here, it's more so the fact that wound exists as opposed to how much damage that wound does, at least in Komodo's case, because that will help out his fellow lizards. Now, if you do take him all the way up to level 15, which you have to be level 850 for, which is a lot, it's a 25% true damage with 100% lifesteal, with each bite applying 240% of his base attack as damage. The weird thing is, It actually goes back up to 22-second cooldown. It's to 21 on level 14 and then 22 on level 15. I wonder if this is a text glitch. Maybe somebody just forgot to change the number on that one. Could be, but I can't assume. So for now, we're going to just take it at face value. That is a ton of damage and a ton of lifesteal. Maybe not necessary, though. To be quite frank, it is only a 5% boost to his defense. The lifesteal being about 26% is admittedly noteworthy. That is a lot of extra healing. But if we're really focusing on the damage, it's only a 5% boost, which I kind of do think you can live without. It also admittedly does boost the wounds very nicely, but again, it's more so that the wounds exist versus how much damage they do. So you could take them to level 10 and then stop, just keeping in mind that these skills are just so expensive. That you might want to save your molecular enhancements for something else. Because quite frankly, level 10 works just fine. And if you want an early breakpoint, probably go to level 40 because even that 50% lifesteal is great. Now, if we go to his Guardian of the League, not to be confused with Guardian of the Globe, Komodo Dragon increases his defense by 10% for each Lizard League ally on the team. And I think this includes himself. It doesn't say it doesn't. In fact, you know what I can do here? Just to confirm that. Let's chuck him into his own little case file here. Or not case file, nightmare, because I just want to make sure I'm right on that. Yes. No. No, I'm sorry. That is from the, that's from the oxygen helmet. I forgot I had that one on him. And it's going to go away here in a second. Okay, so he does not self-boost. Wait, no, he does. Wait. Huh? Sorry, I'm getting myself a little confused here. It had a boost there for a second, and then it went away. Okay, there it is. Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure what's happening there. I gotta be honest. Hang on. Let me actually take off the oxygen helmet. I'm sorry. I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here to figure that out. Let's just boop. There we go. Did he have something else boosting him? Oh, he was doing his Komodo Press. Okay. That's good to know. His passive does not work on himself, it looks like. But if you do chuck him in with another lizard, again, we're just going to do a quick little test on that bad boy. If we chuck him in there, let's say with iguana and king lizard there, then he gets a 20% boost. Okay, so it does not count himself. Sorry, I kind of wish it said that in the description, kind of like it does for the maulers, that it does not count himself in that calculation. But now you know. So it's 10% for like king lizard, 10% for iguana, does not count for himself, totaling 20%. Now, if we do get this leveled up a bit, at level 5, he gains a taunt at the start of the wave if there is an armed hero present. And there's a lot of armed heroes in the game. Universa, Thula, Cecil, anybody with a gun or a weapon or a sword or anything would count as an armed hero. So that is a taunt. A taunt is something he desperately needed. Take him all the way up to level 10, he gets a 50% defense boost and a 6.5 second taunt at the start of a wave against 3 random enemies. That's pretty good. It's better knowing that his other skills also have really good taunts. So it might be like, oh, well, it's only a temporary taunt at the beginning of the fight, but his other skills supplement that very nicely, and we'll talk about that in a second. But basically, his level 10, yeah, it's good. I mean, his breakpoint, if you want to stop early, is technically 5, but like, 10 is so good. I mean, a 3-team taunt is already amazing. And then, if you take him up to level 900, it's a 10-second taunt. That's really good. 10-second taunt at the beginning of the fight is great. It's unfortunate that his defense boost only goes up to 18%. But then again, it's not like he really needs it. It's already amazing as is. So with this one, Again, you can stop at level 10 if you really wanted to, but I would not. I would kind of recommend taking it up to level 15 if you have the resources. Of course, that would be a slow grind, and you got to take them up to that level, so it'll take a while. But that one's kind of worth giving a little love to. Next, we have Scaled Retribution. At the start of the battle, Komodo Dragon bounces back 15% of the damage he receives for 10 seconds. And let's just remember, he gets a taunt at the beginning of the fight if you have his Guardian of the League leveled up. So this is a temporary damage bounce back, which means he would not take that 15% damage. He would just bounce it back if I'm remembering correctly. I always get it mixed up between absorbing damage versus bouncing damage. He might still take it and then deal 15% of it back. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But then at level 3, additionally, he takes 10% less damage from crits. That's really nice because it means that characters like Universa are not going to have quite as easy of a time cooking him. Take it all up to level 10 here. It's a 25% of the damage he receives. It bounces it back for 30 seconds. And he takes 25% less damage from crits at level 10. Yes, this is amazing. Yes, you want to get up to level 10. I think it does decrease the damage by that 25%. But like I said, I'm having a hard time remembering off the top of my head. Now, if we go to level 15, there's an interesting thing with level 15. First of all, it does not increase how much damage he bounces back, but it does increase the duration from 30 seconds to 40 seconds. But there's a change in the second option, or the second half here. At level 14, he takes 30% less damage from critical hits. At level 15, he is immune to critical hits. Now, there's a lot of implication here. First of all, it basically means that an enemy cannot critically hit him. This kind of hard checks a lot of characters that rely on crits to do extra stuff. Immediately what comes to mind is Universa, because her Tripping the Light Fantastic requires crits to bounce around to other characters. If she's taunted on Komodo, she becomes a single target character. Her fourth skill there just stops working. That's pretty sweet, actually. That's kind of awesome. Bonus points for the fact that he's bouncing back Universa's rather impressive damage for a good chunk of time, which is noteworthy. That's kind of awesome. Now, there is an argument to be made that you might want to stop at level 14 because of the Burger Mart Trash Bag. The Burger Mart Trash Bag artifact requires you to receive crits in order for it to do its damage. So ironically, his Scaled Retribution level 15 actually has anti-synergy with the Trash Bag. Personally, I find that to be a small price to pay. I mean, for something this cool, immunity to crits, a small price to pay. But that's something to keep in mind. If you do want to put the Trash Bag on him, maybe keep him at level 14 on this one. Otherwise, absolutely worth going to 15 if you do get him up to that high level. And finally, we have Komodo Press. Komodo Dragon slams the ground, increasing his defense by a percentage for 5 seconds, then deals damage equal to 410% of his defense to all nearby ground level enemies, taunting them for 1 second with a cooldown of 15 seconds. This is already pretty okay. The taunt is small. It's a 1 second taunt. It's nothing crazy. But the fact that it's another way for him to boost his defense, and that it is actually a very, very high defense percentage, is noteworthy. But then we gotta look at the upgrades. Okay, now if we do take this bad boy at level 6, he reduces their ability charge, which is fine. Nothing too crazy there. But then if we go all the way up to level 10, it's first of all, a very chunky defense boost of 25%, which is already kind of awesome. Deals damage equal to 500% of his defense, which again, really awesome. And then it is a 4-second taunt. That's better. 4-second taunt every 13 seconds. That's not bad. Not bad at all. But then we gotta take a look at his 15. If you take a peek at his level 15, first of all, 30-second defense increase for 10 seconds. That's pretty good. 525, not a massive buff, but still a good percentage. Then take a look at this, people. Taunting for 10 seconds with a cooldown of 11 seconds. That is an over 90% uptime on a taunt. Do you realize how amazing that is? I have always said before that the characters we have in the game currently kind of struggle with taunting a little bit. Komodo looked at that and said, no problem, I got you. If you take this up to level 15, he will almost have a permanent taunt on anybody attacking him. And let's not forget that between the massive defense buffs and the ability to bounce back damage, which again I think means that he would not receive it. I'm not sure on that one. But the point is, this dude will not die, and he will force the entire team to attack him. Meanwhile, your other characters, namely your lizards, are going to be doing all the damage. Meanwhile, he's just taking punch after punch after punch, and he won't even care. And also, just a reminder, if you get this leveled up, he gets Life Leech on his Fangstorm here, which means he can heal himself a bit. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Komodo, I mean, even at level 1, his skills are pretty good. At level 10, his skills are great. And at level 15, oh yeah. Not everybody won from the level 15 buff. Although the Komodo did. Komodo Dragon won from the level 15 skill cap increase. It does have the unfortunate requirement of an excessive amount of investment. It's going to take a while to get there. Thankfully, like I said, even his level 10 skills are pretty dang good. So if you at least get him up to Omni Plus and you work on getting his skills up to level 10, your efforts will be rewarded with an extremely tanky boy. But if you get him all the way up to 15... Ooh. Frankly, Fangstorm is kind of the only one that you can just stop at level 10 and be fine. All these others, you gain so much from getting up to level 15. I guess, I mean, technically, maybe Guardian of the League, you could stop at 10. I guess a 3.5 second taunt is not that important factoring in this one. But if you take his second skill up to level 10, it reduces the downtime of his taunt. It's just kind of something to keep in mind. Regardless, Komodo Dragon is the best defender that we've seen. Honestly, maybe since Alan. I don't know. A lot of people were asking if Komodo is better than Conquest or Alan. That's a tough question to answer. Better than Conquest? Quite possibly. Better than Alan? I don't know. The thing that Komodo does so well is the taunting. He is such a good taunt if you get his skills powered up, which, let's be real here, if you're playing in any sort of competitive fashion, you're going to level up his skills. It's just so good. And then to give a brief mention of artifacts, probably the Oxygen Helmet is going to be his best one, just to increase his defense all the more while he's got that beginning of the wave taunt. You can kind of experiment with some other stuff here and there, maybe some healing items like the Bergamart Burger. Just keep in mind that the Bergamart Trash Bag cannot be used if his third skill is at level 15, because it actually requires him to receive a crit. Just kind of something to keep in mind there. Now, if you wanted to crank up his damage even more, because admittedly this thing's pretty okay, you could leave that skill up to level 14. I personally think it's worth taking it to level 15, though, and just blocking crits altogether, because you can just look at characters like Universe or Omni-Man and tell them to go screw themselves. That's kind of a cool trick. But of course, let's talk about him briefly, more so in relation to the other lizards. Ironically, of the 3 lizards, Komodo stands alone surprisingly easily. You could put a leveled up Komodo in any team as their defender, and you'd probably do A-okay. The only thing that requires lizards is his Guardian of the League, and even then only partially, because his taunt, when you get it leveled up, is contingent on an armored hero or an armed hero being present, which all you have to do is make sure you've got somebody with a gun or a staff or something on your side of the field, and you'll be a-okay. So like he stands alone so good, which is something I couldn't really say about King Lizard or Iguana, which I do appreciate. But with King Lizard, his lizard leadership actually does boost his team's defense when he's fighting against Guardians of the Globe, which there are a fair number of those characters that are pretty popular. Which means Komodo will appreciate that very, very much. And of course, just chucks around a lot of wounds and stuff as usual. And then Iguana wants the wounds. He does apply wounds with his main ability, and Iguana can eat those wounds to do even more damage. Iguana doesn't really help Komodo, but she's not meant to. She's meant to be kind of a selfish attacker, getting benefits from the other two lizards. And she most certainly will in this context. I said it when he first came out that Komodo was going to make or break the Lizard League faction. He made it. He made it real good, to the point that I am actually legitimately building my lizards now, because I really want to. I really want to see these characters built up and see just what they can do. I even got King Lizard's skills up to Deadly Focus here, or level 10 on Deadly Focus. So that, if that tells you anything, that should tell you that I'm excited. I think the lizards finally put together and seeing the faction complete is really cool. The only thing we're missing, I wish they had a support. There was talk over stream of maybe Queen Lizard from the Adam Eve special episode. Could be maybe like a backline support with some healing or some shielding, something along those lines. Because that would really complete it. Because we've got two attackers, a defender, and then a support. And then Battle Beast could kind of be in there as a pseudo lizard, because quite frankly, Battle Beast works with lizards to an embarrassing degree, because his Bring the Pain literally is just constantly applying wounds, which is a little hilarious, actually, not gonna lie. I mean, he can apply so many wounds. It's pretty sweet, actually. That synergy works out quite nicely. So I'd love to see a fourth support lizard in the form of maybe Queen Lizard or something like that, but not necessary right now, because the three lizards as they are work really well. Komodo's gonna take a while. Iguana and King Lizard not so much, because they're actually in the multiverse shop right now, which surprised me, if I'm being totally honest, that they gave them the honor of being in the multiverse arena shop. But you know, hey, if you want to build up some lizards and you're not stuck on Lucan like I am, then yeah, perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity to build up some lizards. And then Komodo, he'll pop up in events every so often, and hopefully you can build up some copies. But we are going to leave it right there. Let me know what you think of Komodo down in the comments below. Do you think he's better than Alan? Because that is a question that a lot of people have. The thing with Alan is that Alan is just so hard to kill, because he has such aggressive healing the first time he goes up to level or 1 HP. First time he goes down to 1 HP. But I don't know if you could even kill Komodo. I don't know. The only thing that kind of does counter Komodo, ironically, is Anissa. Because Anissa decreases a human's defense stat based on her own attack stat. So Komodo is not perfect. He does technically have a teensy tiny bit of a counter in the form of Anissa, but honestly, Komodo's defense is so high, he might be able to tank it. I don't know. Could be. Could be. I want to build lizards so bad. I'm working on it. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. And with that, we are going to take a moment now to thank our YouTube members and Patreons. Special thanks to my YouTube members, Joe Bro, The Angel of Death, Andre Ramos, Joel Torres, and Shadow Nate. And special thanks to my Patreons, William Marlin and Diamond Dave. Y'all all are amazing. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.